is hosting the Class B regional play-in between the Section 7 Northeastern Clinton Cougars Tonight's lineups will be for the Maple Hill Wildcats. Number 4, Spencer Allen. Number 14, Dakota Bolt. Number 1, Alex Grossman. Number 22, Kyle Hall. Number 24, Alec Hicks. Number 13, Nick Kern. Number 21, Sherwood Aldridge. Number 7, Jesse Moore. Number 11, Payne Morgan. Number 2, Noah Pappas. Number 25, Logan Samaria. Number 12, Tyler Shorey. Number 19, Casey Arista. The starters for the Wildcats. Number 8, Paul Hanson. Number 5, Andrew Bordeaux. Number 17, Pat Curtin. Number 16, Jake Johnson. Number 3, Jeremy Kelly. Number 15, Willie Monty. Number 20, Matt Palmer. Number 6, Ron Bradley. Number 10, Steve Sapkowski. Number 23, goalkeeper Jared Van Alstein. Number 18, Jake Yeager. The Wildcats are coached by Mr. James Gillespie and assisted by Mr. Coach Cody Flack. For the Northeastern Clinton Cougars.
Yee-ho! Let's go!
Number 2, Andrew Conley. Cole Cooper. Number 12, Colby Fogels. Alex Cartier. Number 17, Alex Davison. Number 18, Evan McDougall. Number 20, Dustin Cooper. Number 22, Paul LeDuc. Number 25, Ben LeDuc. The starters for the Cougars. Number 3, Sean Harrigan. Number 6, Bobby Marks. Number 7, Matt Laterno. Number 8, Dylan Carter. Number 9, Hay. Number 10, Logan Miller. Number 11, Bob Armstrong. Number 14, Ian McDonough. Number 15, Jamie Davison. Number 23, Thomas Bedard. And goal, Josh Gravidu. The Cougars are coached by Mr. Dale Hoxby, assisted by Frank Dumas and Jerry Davison. The officials for tonight's game are Tom Pawlowski, Jamie LaBarge, and Todd Lambert. Please stand and remove all headgear for the playing of our national anthem.
Stripes and Good evening, soccer fans, and welcome to Hometown Cable's presentation of boys high school varsity soccer, coming to you from the sports complex here at Plattsburgh High School. Tonight, the coverage is of the New York State Class B regional play, and the Cougars of Northeastern Clinton are in the home white, and they are opposed by the Wildcats of Maple Hill in the red jerseys. We are just under play again here coming to you from the athletic complex Plattsburgh High School. The Cougars start off with the possession. This is Logan Miller working it down the right side, and he's defended there by number 5. That's Andrew Bordeaux. It might take me just a minute or two to get all the names for the Maple Hill players, as they are coming to visit from Section 2, and clearly don't get to see them play. We do have news that they heretofore have been a Class C school and moved up to Class B this year, and certainly a testament to their players and coaching staff to have them in regional play once again at a Class B level, where they'll see schools with obviously bigger enrollment and more kids to pick from. So.
Joe, they're the longtime nemesis of Northern Adirondack. Several times in a row, the Bobcats failed to get by at Maple Hill. And the first year they did, they went all the way down to the Final Four.
Here's a first offensive opportunity for Maple Hill. They get a ball deep in the zone, but the Cougar defense is able to step up and squash that. So, and that ball's in the middle of the field, and it goes out of play. It'll be a Wildcat throw-in. So Bordeaux will throw the ball in, and goes to the back line of the Cougars, who Gay clears it out to the midfield, but it's controlled there. There's a high shot, goes off the crossbar. Jake Yeager from a good distance out puts a charge into that one, and it sailed a little bit on Josh Rabideau, and fortunately it found that crossbar. That looked like it was headed for the top corner of the goal. So the Cougars dodge an early bullet there when they failed to control the ball in the midfield, and again Jake Johnson got a hold of that one, and I'm sorry. Jake Yeager. Here's Carter in the corner. He tries to, Davison. He tries to turn, and that gets defended nicely by Maple Hill player. So we're it's 3.5 minutes into the contest, and Maple Hill with the certainly the first good scoring opportunity. Here's Letourneau with that long throw. It's turned out to be quite an offensive weapon, and especially against a team that hasn't seen it before. Certainly early on, that's going to be a good tool for Coach Hawksby to work that into play. Here's Miller trying to get one into the center. Ball is loose. That's McDonough, puts one in the box, but Matt Palmer for the Wildcats is there to clear it out of harm's way. The Cougars control the ball. This is Marks with it. He sends one into the box. Miller gets a head on it. Davison is there, knocks it just wide as the Maple Hill goaltender Van Alstein comes out to make the play. Davison got a foot on it, but went well wide of the goal. See that there's a little bit of a breeze out there tonight, blowing from left to right on your radio dial. Here's Sapowski. He's going to launch one, and that's going to go over the goal. That's number 10, Steve Sapowski for the Wildcats, is their leading scorer. He's going to have to be closely marked. And the Cougars will get it started back the other way with a goal kick. This is Marks. He's first to it. Sends one up for Davison. Davison trying to track it down. Keeps it in bounds. The flag goes up, and Maple Hill will throw that in. This is Letourneau. Tries to get it up for Carter. Here's Harrigan in the center of the field. He dumps it off. This is Marks. Pushes a nice ball up. Tries to get a ball up for Davison, but it's defended there by Maple Hill. Bedard turns it back around the other way. And Bordeaux will watch it go out of bounds. He'll throw it in. Bedard again. There's a big throw that goes over the head of Armstrong. It's picked up by the Wildcats, but Armstrong is there to break that up. He creates a little bit of space. Carter drops it off for him. Armstrong pushes it over in the corner for Davison. Davison tries to tap it past his defender. It gets knocked out of bounds. Quick throw in. Davison serves one into the center. A couple of Cougars there converge, and Miller tries to come away with it, but the Wildcats defend. This is Bordeaux, pushes it up for Yeager. Yeager delivers the ball to the right side, but Gay is there to break that up. Letourneau tries to send one up to the wing, but that goes a little bit too far. And Gay knocks it out of bounds. And that one just kind of skipped around a little bit in the center of the field. Again, the two teams just kind of feeling each other out in the middle of the field. So there's a ball that's sent forward, and we're going to get a whistle on that play. We got 32 minutes and 25 seconds to go in the first half. Still scoreless. There's a ball that's sent into the box. Davison is there. Van Alstyne come off his line to get his hands on it. Didn't quite handle the ball cleanly, and Davison had overrun the play. Didn't get a chance to get back at it, but Van Alstyne gathered himself up and took care of that. Nice delivery by Rob Armstrong on that ball to get that into the box. Nice dangerous ball there by the Cougars. Armstrong again. He'll send one at the top of the 18. That's going to hit the ground, and we get a whistle on that play. So the Wildcats will get it started back the other way. Harrigan controls. Still has it. Sends it down the line for Davison. That's going to roll over the end line for a goal kick. All right. Sounds like thunder. Again, the Cougars send the ball back towards the end of the Maple Hill end. The Wildcats are there to defend. Again, it might take me just a minute or two to catch the name of all the players on the back line. That looks like 15. Willie Monty is their sweeper. It looks like they're playing a fairly flat back line. Here's an opportunity for the Wildcats. But Gay breaks that up. There's Kelly in the center of the field. This is Davison, drops it off for Carter. Carter looking for some space, gets the ball out just a little bit too far ahead of him, and it's turned back the other way by the Wildcats. Marks possesses, sends a nice ball in for Davison, but that again gets knocked over the sideline by the Wildcat defense. 20. So Matt Palmer is another one of the defenders in the back. Davison gets his foot on that one, and he's looking for the call, but referee Labarge didn't see it the same way as Jamie Davison did, so he's going to give the ball over to the Wildcats for a goal kick. We got Pat Curtin, Matt Palmer, Andrew Bordeaux, and I'll get you one other name here in just a second on the back line for the Wildcats. This is Miller. He gets shoved off the ball. And here's the Wildcats with a little bit of an opportunity, but Bedard is there to break that up. Ball is in the center for Davison. He chips it up for Carter. Goes just a little bit too long, and we get a call. It looks like he's going to get the call. So this is going to be a set piece for the Cougars. About like they're going to be about 40 yards out. He's backing it up quite a bit. So again, this is going to be a set play for the Cougars. Armstrong delivers it, sends it into the box. McDonough gets ahead on it, but didn't get a whole lot of steam on it, and Van Alstyne was able to handle that one without a problem. So they at least get a shot on goal with that opportunity. But it's sent back to the back line. Gay tries to get it forward, but it's again defended there by, I believe that's number 6, Ron Radley, in the right midfielder. It's thrown in and headed back the other way. Harrigan tries to keep it in. Carter gets the ball taken off of his foot, but the Cougars still maintain the pressure. Again, Letourneau with the big throw. Sends it into the box. And Davison gets ahead on it, but again, Van Alstyne is there to pick that up. He turns around and gets it restarted quickly the other way. Harrigan is able to knock that down and really prevent any kind of a quick start. Those are all. That's a great play by the goaltender to get that throw out there and get things started back the other way before the other team can get set up for it. Here's Bedard defending against Sapowski, but Miller steals that. There's a ball that's sent up into the corner by Harrigan. McDonough gives chase, but the Wildcat defense is there. And there's a shot by Davison, and Van Alstyne has to dive for it. I think it was outside of the post, but Van Alstyne wasn't going to take any chances with that. Jamie Davison gets a good shot off from about 20 yards out, and the Cougars will have a corner kick. So here's the first corner kick opportunity for either team, and Cougars will put the ball into play. Nice ball in the box, but it gets defended by one of the Wildcats, and they'll start it back out the other way. Gay is in there mixing it up from his defense position. Here's Armstrong with it. He pushes it up for Davison. Davison gets it over for McDonough, and he gets a shot off, but again, not much on that one, and Van Alstyne is able to pick that up. And the ball's in the midfield. Here's Carter. He gets the ball taken away from him. Gets it kicked back to Curtin, who sends it back the other way, but the Cougar defense is there to turn that, slow that pressure down. So the last couple minutes, the Cougars have had the better of the possession and certainly better of the field position, but we're able to get a couple of shots off. The defense has been holding strong, and the Maple Hill goaltender Derek Van Alstyne has been certainly equal to the task. So we've got just under 25 minutes to play here in the scoreless first half from the Plattsburgh High School Athletic Complex in this Class B regional playoff game. There's a ball that's worked down into the corner, and it's going to go out of bounds, and the Cougars will get a throw in. Again, Letourneau will come up from his defensive position to take this long throw in, which really works almost like a corner kick, because he can deliver that ball well into the box and create a scoring opportunity for the Cougars. And the Wildcats are the first one to get to it. Here's Armstrong. He puts a shot on goal, but that goes wide of the net. Again, the Cougars keeping the pressure on here with just 24 minutes to play in the first half. The Cougars have certainly been able to keep the pressure on and create some scoring opportunities. Wildcats put the ball back in play, but here's Carter. He dumps one off for Marks. Marks and Anson battle for it, but the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a Wildcat throw-in. Here's Carter. Picks up that loose ball, tries to send one in for Davison. Davison makes a nice move, but the ball gets by him, and it's defended there by Curtin. And Miller can't catch up with that one and goes out of bounds, so Maple Hill will have another throw-in. Bedard steps up, gets ahead on that to break it up. Armstrong pushes it forward. And we're going to get a call on that one. Looks like he's going to call a handball. Armstrong will take the free kick. He's going to curl one into the box. Goes over Carter's head. And Marks is there, pushes it back to Harrigan, but the defense collapses on him pretty quickly, and there's no opportunity there for the Cougars. A little mix-up here in the midfield, but the ball's pushed back to the back line, and Letourneau is able to get it up front. Here's Carter and Davison trying to work on it, and that's going to go out of bounds, but the Cougars are going to retain possession. Letourneau again on the throw. Puts that one into the box. Van Alstyne comes out to pick it up and can't get his hand on it right away, but stays with it nicely and finally gets his hands on it. That was certainly a scary moment for Coach Gillespie to see his goaltender floundering around back there in the box with the ball bouncing around.
It looked like he had about 4 arms for a while there.
He definitely stays with it. He seems to be a little shaky on a couple of the balls so far, but I got to give him credit for keeping his head in it and staying with it. There's a good opportunity there for the Cougars. Had some numbers, but again, the back line of the Wildcats stepped up, particularly Curtin has been playing very well so far for Coach Gillespie. And we're going to have another handball here, so Cougars will get a restart right at midfield. Armstrong again puts the ball into the top of the 18. Miller gets knocked off of it. McDonough's the first one to it, but it gets taken away the other way. Here's a long ball sent up for Sapowski. Letourneau is there, knocks him off the ball. No call. Letourneau comes away with it, sends it over to Harrigan in the midfield. Nice play by Matt Letourneau to break up that play for the dangerous Steve Sapowski, who got delivered a nice ball and had a step on the defense, but Letourneau quickly came back and took care of that. Here's Curtin again. He makes a nice play and sends the ball up to Yeager. This is Yeager on the sidelines, broken up by Bedard. And it was Armstrong knocks it up to the front line, and that'll go out of bounds, and the Cougars will throw it in. Once again, Letourneau on the throw. Puts that into the box, goes over the head of everybody, and Van Alstyne doesn't make any mistake with this one. Got the nice charity hop. And here's Harrigan. He sends it back for Marks. Marks pushes it back for Harrigan. Harrigan sends it back in for Marks. Marks kind of loses control of it, and here come the Wildcats the other way. This is Palmer with it. He pushes it up, and kind of everybody kind of fell asleep on that. But anyway, the Wildcats come away with it. Here's a ball that's sent into the center, but it's broken up by Armstrong. But the Wildcats maintain possession. There's a nice play by Cole Cooper, who's just come into the game to break up that. Nice defensive play by Cooper. And he's going up against number 3 for the Wildcats. That's Kelly, and that ball's going to go out of bounds. A little bit too crisp for Jamie Davison to handle. So here's Curtin. Marks, first one to that, switches fields. Unfortunately, no players over there. Carter on his horse gets over there, but again, the Maple Hill defense is there to turn it back the other way. Letourneau sends it back to the center of the field. Here's Marks, punches one up, but that's going to go pretty deep, and there's nobody going to go after that one, so it'll roll over the end line for a goal kick. All right, so we get it back underway. 17.5 to go in the first half. Here's Harrigan, tries to push one over for Cooper. And that gets taken away by Anson, but it's broken up again by the Cougars. Here's Harrigan. He's got some space to work. He tries to push it by that defender and gets it taken away, but Letourneau, and he gets his ball taken away from him, but he makes a nice play there to redirect that ball, and Armstrong kicks it out of harm's way. There's Davison trying to push one by the defense, but again, Curtin is there to break that up. This is Jeremy Kelly in the center of the field, and here's a couple of threes go down in the center of the field, and referee Labarge is going to have a word with Harrigan about the way that all went down. But Maple Hill will get a restart the other way. 16.5 to play in the first half, still scoreless. And that ball is sent up. The Cougars seem to be a little flat-footed at this point. There's Leduc. He sends one up the right sideline, but had no support there, and we'll have subs. You're awful jaded, it's November.
I know. I'm September.
Yeah, it's still in the September mode. It's warmer than it was up at Northeastern when the girls played Plattsburgh a couple weeks ago. Anyway, that's that ball's out of bounds again. Maple Hill will throw in, and again it's controlled by the Cougars. Marks turns it around, tries to get it past Kelly, but that doesn't work out. Here's Yeager, lets it slip by him, and the Cougars break that up. Not sure who that player is on the right wing for Coach Gillespie. Here's Davison. Drops it off for Carter. Carter chips one into the center, but Davison's not going to be able to catch up with that one. But a decent passing play by the Cougars there to create somewhat of an opportunity. Certainly take the pressure off them. Maple Hill has been turned the tides just slightly here in the last couple of minutes, and have kept the ball at least in the center of the field and kept themselves pushing forward instead of going backwards, which they were about the middle of this half. Here's Cooper. Lays it off for Harrigan, but Harrigan can't get a shot off. And Bedard comes up to play that. comes back to break up the play. This is number 7. That's Jesse Moore. And here's Sapowski. He drops it off, and ball's delivered into the center. Headed away by Bedard. Bo Leduc is there to send that back out towards midfield, but Maple Hill retains possession. The Wildcats showing some good pressure here in the this part of the first half. Here comes Carter the other way, and he can't quite get it past Curtin, so it'll be a throw in. And all right, once Mr. Sapowski gets his shoes all tied up and ready.
Even stopped the clock for him.
Is that right? They stopped the clock for him. Well, okay. That ball gets thrown into the box, and here comes the Wildcats out the other way. Marks tries to break that up and can't quite get the pressure stopped, and Wildcats are weaving their way up through. This is Moore with it in the center of the field. He's got some space. He pushes it out to the outside, and that ball gets pushed back, and it goes by everybody. Bordeaux's back there. He turns around, sends it back into the center, but the Cougars break that up. But Curtin is there to send it back up. Here's Kelly with it. He beats one defender, pushes a nice ball in for Sapowski, drops it off for number 4, Allen. But he can't quite get a shot off. And once again, Cole Cooper coming back from his midfield position to stop that play. Cole Cooper, definitely one of Coach Hawksby's offensive players, has shown some good grit and some good hustle to come back and make 2 nice defensive plays since he's come off the bench. Harrigan sends the ball into the center. This is Leduc. Heads it back for Cooper and skips over his foot, but he's still got possession. He's going to send it back for Bedard. Bedard's going to push it up for Leduc. Leduc and Cooper. But that's broken up by Bordeaux, and Sapowski comes all the way back to work the ball. And between he and Bordeaux, they managed to get the ball away from Leduc and Cooper. But here's the Cougars again. Ball's dropped off for Marks, but he gets pushed off the ball by the Wildcat defense, and once again it's cleared out towards center of the field. This is Kelly. He's get defended by Gay. Gay makes a nice play to knock that away, and it's going to go over the sideline, and we got more subs.
I mean, I guess at this point, unless it doesn't go to a shootout, a couple saves where he shots, and then the goal, if it goes to a shootout, that could pretty much be a highlight there.
Here's again the Wildcats have the ball midfield, and this is number 15. That's Willie Monty with the ball, but that gets broken up. Marks has it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Sends it for Leduc, Bo Leduc, and that's in the center. Davison is there. He strips the ball away. Marks puts a charge into that one, but that's going to go high and wide. So that'll be a goal kick for the Wildcats. Nice crowd on hand tonight, Calvin, for a lot of Cougar fans come out to cheer their team on. Kind of nice to have it in Section 7 territory. I'm not sure how that all goes down. Do they politic for it, or are they odd man for it, or how does that all go down?
I think they take turns.
Does it rotate from year to year?
The D's are at Section 10.
There's a nice ball for Sapowski. He's the first one there. He's defended by Armstrong. Here's the Wildcats with a good opportunity deep in the zone. There's a ball that's sent into the center, and Letourneau fans on it, but Rabideau was able to stay with it and scoop that up. It's near miss by Matt Letourneau, who kind of nonchalanted that clearing pass and had to go off the side of his foot. That's a best opportunity that the Wildcats have had this late in the half.
Well, Bedard was able to chest it to him, so that helped it.
Yeah. Here's McDonough. tries to push one for Miller, but that gets cut off by number 8. That's Anson. Davison gets by one defender. He's still got it.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, hopefully.
And he Bordeaux breaks that momentum up a little bit, but the Cougars still maintain possession. Davison just decides to turn and loft one towards the end line. We go with the Cougars again. They have possession in the center of the field. Miller pushes a nice ball in for Davison. Davison and 15 for the Wildcats is Willie Monty. They battle for it. But here's Marks. He tries to get it over for Gay, but that's intercepted. McDonough is there to break that up, and Harrigan pushes it back for Gay. Gay tries to chip one up for Marks, but that again gets intercepted by Monty. Monty brings it into the center of the field and broken up by the Cougars, and he gets the ball back and just lobs it forward. And the back line of the Cougars is there to turn that back around, but Maple Hill is still got a little bit of pressure going here. There's a ball that's sent into the center, but Armstrong is there to turn that around. Davison drops it off for Harrigan. Harrigan punches one out, but a little bit too long, and Palmer's there to defend on that. Here's Marks. Marks for Davison. Davison tries to punch one through the defense, but Palmer takes care of that one. And that ball goes out of bounds. You got about 7 minutes and 15 seconds to play in the first half. Still scoreless. Here coming to you from the Plattsburgh High School Athletic Complex. There's a ball that skips by Kelly in the midfield, and it goes up for Moore. Moore sends it back, and he maintains possession. Carter strips that from him. He's got it, pushes it forward for Davison. Davison tries to chip it across for Miller, but it gets defended there by Bordeaux. This is Kelly. Here's Moore. He sends it back for Bordeaux, but it gets broken up by Letourneau. And Maple Hill comes back the other way. This is Yeager. He lays one off for number 10 is Sapowski. And Sapowski still has it, but he loses it this time, and Davison has it. Turns around and get a little pressure off and sends it to the back line. Number 15 for the Wildcats is Willie Monty. And Carter gives chase, but the ball's going to go out of bounds. And we got more subs. All right, the ball's back in, and Harrigan punches it forward, and no pressure there by the Cougars, so the Wildcats will take their time and clear that out. Davison is there, sends one into the corner for Carter. Carter tries to turn and send it in the other way, but it goes out of bounds. There's Paige texting me, wanting to find out the situation on the game.
Tell her to go to winery.com.
Yeah, tell her to tune in. I think she's still at basketball practice, so I suppose she can get that on her smartphone. Here's Bedard and Sapowski battling for it. And Bedard knocks that away, but gives the Cougars an opportunity to get back. And there's a takedown by number 10, Steve Sapowski. And referee Labarge is going to be right on top of that one, and he whistles him for the foul. Armstrong tries to clear the ball forward, and it's going to roll out of bounds. I'm sorry, that was McDonough. And again, goes back to Van Alstyne, and he punts it out to midfield. The Cougars are there, and we're going to have some more little pushing and shoving, and the Cougars will end up with a restart. Here's Armstrong with the quick set, puts it in the middle, but Kelly is there. This is Sapowski. Gets it by Bedard. Sapowski with some room, tries to get it up for Yeager. It's broken up nicely by Letourneau. And here's the Wildcats showing some good pressure there. Nice effort to spring their top scorer, and he pushes it up for Yeager, but it gets broken up. This is Bordeaux with it. Ball goes out of bounds, and the Cougars will throw it in.
Jamie Labarge overruling his lineman.
All right. There's a play in the center that didn't draw a whistle. Carter sends it. Here's Harrigan. Makes a nice play, brings it into the corner. Harrigan with a good opportunity, turns on it, but can't quite get squared away on it, and ball goes over the end line. And Maple Hill gets it going back the other way. Harrigan maintains it. Davison has it, but again, Kelly is there for the Wildcats, and we're going to get a call on that play. So the Wildcats will get a restart back the other way. We're creeping up on 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Still no score. The tempo has picked up considerably here in the last minute or so. Maple Hill with a one good strong push, and the Cougars have brought it back the other way. So.
Last year's Cougar goalie is here, Casey Manor.
Is that right? Oh, yeah, there he is. How about that?
All right, see you later.
Again, Letourneau with the big long throw, puts it into the box, and it's headed away by number 8. That's Anson, and that's going to be a throw-in for the Cougars. And then once again, deep in the zone like this, that big long throw is a offensive weapon. So the Cougars will crash on this throw. There's a nice throw into the box. And Davison gets a shot off, but he gets it right at Van Alstyne. And the Maple Hill goalkeeper had that one played very nicely. But again, the Cougars creating an opportunity off of that big long throw. Here's, again, the Cougars maintain possession. This is McDonough with it. He chips it up, tries to get it up for Davison, but that one goes just a little long. Carter lays it off for Harrigan, but a little miscommunication there and creates a little bit of an opportunity, but here come the Cougars back the other way. Marks tries to scoot it in for Davison, but that gets broken up, and that ball skips by Carter. Armstrong sends it into the box. Van Alstyne comes out, and that ball's going to roll again. Van Alstyne comes out, gets a hand on it, and sends it back out to the box. Jamie Davison was there to try to redirect it. Wide open goal, and he just pushed it wide of the net. Great opportunity there for the Cougars. Van Alstyne was, as the half rolls to the end, Van Alstyne was screened on the play. Did a nice job of getting his hand on it, but was not able to corral that rebound. And geez, with the time clicking away in the first half, the Cougars missed a golden scoring opportunity. But after 40 minutes of play here from the Plattsburgh High School Athletic Complex in this Class B regional playoff game, it's the Cougars of Northeastern Clinton nothing, and the Wildcats of Maple Hill nothing.
Complex.
All right, we're back to action, Kelvin. All right, so folks, we are back to action for the second half of this Class B regional playoff game between the Cougars of Northeastern Clinton in their home white and the Wildcats of Maple Hill in the red jerseys. We played to a scoreless tie in the first half, and we get out of the chute here right at the beginning of the second half, and the Wildcats are showing a little bit of offensive pressure to get things started. I got to believe Coach Gillespie had a little talking to, give them a little talking to at halftime, telling them that they needed to step up their offense just a little bit. But here come the Cougars back the other way, but the ball is controlled in the middle of the field by the Wildcats, and that goes out of bounds. So we're going to have a throw in for the Cougars. All right. Cougars with the throw in. And Davison can't quite control it. And that's Radley for. Here's Davison, tries to make a move around the Maple Hill defense. It looked like the ball went out of bounds, and the flag was definitely up. So we're going to get another throw in for the Cougars. And again, Letourneau will take that big throw deep in the Maple Hills territory. So we'll see what the Cougars can do with the into the wind. Here's a nice ball. It's in the box, headed by Miller, but it was off the mark. Here's Marks with it. He's trying to turn. He's still got it. Gets kicked out of bounds, and it's going to go over to the Cougars once again. Letourneau will come in to take that long throw. Certainly the Wildcats have it packed into the box. McDonough gets ahead on it, but it rolls all the way back to Bordeaux, who sends it forward. Here's Gay and Sapowski battling for it. Sapowski has it, drops it off for Radley on the right side. He pushes it in for Yeager. Yeager tries to slip it through, but the Cougar defense is there. Armstrong breaks it up, and he's working it hard, but Yeager's there. This is Radley tries to push it into the center. Sapowski gets it, but he rolls one into the box, but Rabideau comes out and picks it up before anything can happen. So once again, the Wildcats showing a little bit of pressure here to start the second half. So we're going to get a throw in, or Maple Hill right at the midfield stripe. Right, here's Sapowski in the middle. He drops one off, and there's a nice play by the Wildcats. Again, the Cougar defense steps up, and Marks is able to clear it out, and we've got a stoppage of play. All right, so brief pause there for Matt Letourneau went down. Looked like we had some stoppage on the injury, but referee Labarge pulled out the yellow card and sent Willie Money to the bench on that hard foul. And the junior defender for Northeastern Clinton, Matt Letourneau, gets up, and he's going to stay in the game, but Willie Monty gets the yellow card, and he's going to have to sit. Armstrong will get it started the other way. There's Bedard, pushes it up for Miller. That's going to go out of bounds. Cougars will get going back the other way. Tries to get one the throw in over to Davison. Here's Armstrong, gets the ball taken away from him. Sapowski sends it over for Kelly, I believe. And that's not going to go anywhere. Here's Davison. He's going to chip one long for Carter. That goes just a little bit too far, and Palmer is there to defend. And here comes Maple Hill back the other way. That's going to scoot long, and Letourneau tries to push it over for Harrigan, but that got their signals crossed there. Here's Johnson, heads it up for Yeager, but it gets broken up by Bedard. Here's Davison with some space and trying to beat Curtin, but that doesn't work out. And this is Curtin, tries to get a shot off, and he gets defended there by Bedard. And Nick Gay makes a nice play to get the ball away from him. Here's Carter with it. He gets it taken away. And that ball goes out of bounds, and it'll be a Cougar throw-in. We get some pretty fast-paced action here in the first couple minutes to start this second half. Both teams looking for some opportunity. Here's Davison, gets one pushed forward, but he decides to take the shot from outside the box and doesn't quite get turned on it very well, and gets a left-footed shot that really didn't have much direction on it whatsoever. Might have thought better of pushing that ball up a little bit further and trying to create an opportunity on a cross and draw some defenders to him. But either way, you know, it's an offensive opportunity for the Cougars. So we got 34 minutes and 15 seconds to play in the second half. There's a ball that's sent into the center, but Gay is there to break that up. That gets by Miller. Here's I want to say that's Kelly, but it's not. It's Radley over on the left side. Again, battle in the middle of the field, and Bordeaux and Bordeaux and Curtin get their shoelaces tangled up, and the Cougars have an opportunity, and they're going to get called for the foul on that one. So the Wildcats will get a restart the other way. There's a ball that's sent up to the front line. Yeager was there, but it went over his head. And here comes that ball up to the center. Marks has it, tries to get it past the defensive Curtin, but can't. And the Cougars get the ball back. And here's the nice play by the Cougars. And it's in. Nice ball by Jamie Davison to spring Dylan Carter in the center of the field. And Carter beats Van Alstyne to the ball and knocks it over his head, very similar to the two goals that he scored in the sectional championship game to get the Cougars where they are in this regional playoff game. Coach Gillespie is giving a little bit of a protest on the sideline, but I don't think that's going to make a difference. There's a nice play by the combination Jamie Davison and Dylan Carter to free that ball up in the middle of the area, and Davison made a nice delivery to chip the ball up to Carter, who beat Van Alstyne to the ball and knocked it over his head into the empty net. So at the 33:05 to play in the second half, the Cougars break out on top with a 1-0 score, much to the delight of this partisan Cougar crowd on hand here at the Plattsburgh High School Sports Complex. So the announcement goes over the PA system. The goal gets credited to number 8, Dylan Carter, and the assist going to number 15, Jamie Davison. Again, the goal at the 16:55 mark of the second half. And here comes Maple Hill. They're going to put the pressure on after that goal. We're going to push it back to the back line. Looks as though the Cougars have already started to push back into a defensive mode, and here comes Carter with it. He tries to get one up for Davison, but that gets broken up nicely by Curtin, and it's going to get pushed back the other way, but it's going to go out of bounds. So the Cougars are going to take the throw in, and once again, Letourneau will come up to take the long throw. So. And again, it looks as though Coach Hawksby is going to push some players up on offense on this big long throw-in. So he's definitely got some speed in the midfield, and that certainly works to his advantage because he's able to get his midfielders back into a defensive posture without too much effort. That ball gets headed into the area by Liam McDonough, but it's handled very nicely by Van Alstyne, and here come the Wildcats the other way. Davison knocks Radley off the ball, but he's going to get called for the foul. So the Wildcats will restart it. That's Palmer. Sends one up to the 18, but the Cougar defense is able to turn it back around the other way. Kelly controls, sends it over for Bordeaux. And Harrigan overruns it. Bordeaux has it. He's going to push it into the center. Nick Gay is the first one there. He sends it back the other way. That's number 15, Willie Monty, back in the game now. He's takes the throw in. The Cougars try to possess, but it's working back down the other way. This is Samarija with the throw. First we've called his name tonight. And he hustles in on it, but loses his footing and is frustrated with himself on that one. Had the momentum going forward and looked like he had the possibility of getting a shot off, but he lost his footing and ball rolled off his foot over the end line. So again, the Wildcats pressuring for that equalizing goal here. They're going to throw everything they got at it. I would imagine that Coach Gillespie is not going to let them go away quietly here. Still a fair amount of time to be played left in this game as we're just inside of 30 minutes to play. Here's Marks, gets it over for Davison. Davison is there, chips another long ball into the deep into the Wildcats' end. This is Palmer with it. He turns and sends it over for Monty. But again, Davison is there. He's hustling all over the field. Still has it, chips it to himself, and sends the ball to the opposite side for Miller. Miller looks, turns, and sends hooks one into the box, and we got a whistle on the play. Maybe a contact? Tooth? Oh, they're going to do the courtesy throw it. Maple Hill had possession of the ball, then the player kicked it out of bounds to stop the action. So it's a Cougar throw in, but
instead of a free kick, it's a throw it in.
Exactly, because the play was stopped and the player kicked it out of bounds. Anyway, it's a courtesy play. Here's Pupor with it, trying to work hard to get a shot off, but it gets taken away. There's a ball that's sent up for Yeager, but just a little bit too far, and Gay is there to turn it around. Carter sends it over. Here's Harrigan, pushes one and back into the box, but Monty is there to turn it around. And again, they punch it to the back line, and Letourneau has a bit of a hard time handling that one, but the ball goes a little bit long, and Armstrong takes care of it. This is Kelly. He gets it taken away by Marks. Here's Monty, pushes it into the center to get some space. Tries to get it over to his winger, but that goes a little bit too long, and it'll be a Cougar throw-in.
Watching Corey.
You're watching the Davison. That's Jamie Davison.
Corey's working on him.
Corey the caregiver. All right, here's McDonough giving chase, and we got a whistle on the play.
Corey Thompson will be the boys basketball coach at Shazy this year.
I'm sorry?
So Corey Thompson is working on Davison is.
Here's a shot by Kelly from well outside the box, and Rabideau watches it skip by. Okay, go ahead.
He'll be the varsity coach at Shazy this year, but today he's here as an EMT.
He's going to be the varsity basketball coach.
Right.
I got you. Okay.
Shazy boys.
Right.
And last time he was at a Northeastern game, on his way home he had to go to a fire at Polite.
So he's multifaceted.
Yes. Spent the night at Polite.
Yeah, I read the article today. I didn't actually read the article while I was gone, but I read it today. So they battled it for 3 days or 2 days or extended
battled it overnight.
Extended amount of time.
Yeah,
Clean up the mess. Again, Maple Hill threatening here, but here come the Cougars. The Wildcats are certainly pressuring now. They only got 2 defenders back. Carter sends one into the middle. Pupor gives chase, but Bordeaux comes back and covers up. And here comes Curtin the other way. He sends it up. It's dropped off for Kelly. Kelly leaves it for Yeager. Yeager chips it forward, but Bedard is there to chest that ball away. Here's McDonough. He sends it over for Miller. Miller tries to flick it over the head of his defender, and it goes out of bounds. Here's McDonough. Leaves it off for Harrigan. Harrigan sends one forward, but that's going to go a little bit too far, and Curtin's going to turn it back around the other way. We are just at the 25 minutes to play, and here comes Maple Hill the other way. And there's going to be a foul on that play, so the Wildcats are going to get a set piece here from about 25 yards out on the left side. So we're going to see how the Cougar defense is going to stack up here. This is really the first of any kind of they haven't had any corner kicks, and this is really the first set piece that we will see the Wildcats with. And maybe they were going to try a little razzle dazzle here, but looks like they're going to go for the standard setup on the far side, and we'll see how this goes. Looks like it's Bordeaux with the kick. He's going to chip it into the box. Nice play there, but Rabideau stays with it. Kelly is there to get his chest on it, but can't get a shot off. And Josh Rabideau had it played nicely. So there's a good opportunity. Didn't materialize to anything for the Wildcats. And again, the Cougars dodge a bullet there. Here's a ball in the center. McDonough hustles to it. He's got Yeager on him, and he's going to take a poke in the eye for that. And here's Sapowski looking dangerous, but Armstrong is there to break it up, and we're going to get a stoppage of play. I could certainly, not from the broadcasting point of view, but I've certainly been at a few where, you got to go to the bathroom or turn your back for something and miss the only goal of the game, yeah. So here we are, back to action, and the Cougars have once again penetrated down into the Maple Hill zone, but the Wildcats are back to clear this out. Here's looks like Bordeaux is pushing the ball up, and Coach Gillespie is definitely pushing some of his stronger players out of the defensive end to support his offense, to see if he can get that equalizer, because there is no tomorrow for the loser of this game, so he's got nothing to lose. Armstrong again clears, but not quite out of the area. And again, the Wildcats maintain possession. There's a cross into the box. Rabideau makes a nice stop there, but doesn't quite control it all that well, and I believe that was Yeager that was breaking in on him, but Rabideau had the angle covered pretty well when he knocked it down, and Yeager kind of ran through the ball. Jake Yeager just ran through the ball and pushed it wide of the net. So again, the Cougars dodged another bullet there with the Wildcats really pressuring for that equalizer. Here comes McDonough trying to create some opportunity, but the Wildcats turn it around the other way. Here's Sapolsky, and that goes out of bounds, but it's going to be a Wildcat throw in. And there's Armstrong, pushes it out towards midfield. This is, again, here's Bordeaux muscling his way through. Miller is back to defend, and Bedard sends it back the other way. Here's a ball that's chipped up for Leduc, but he's a little tardy getting there, and Palmer turns it around. It's going to go out of bounds, and that's going to go over to the Wildcats, which seems kind of strange to me, but anyway, it pushes back, and it's going to roll back to the box. Nick Gay is there to cover up. That looked like a handball to me. It's the ball is into the center. Harrigan chips it out for Marks. Marks gets pushed from behind, but they play the possession. This is Leduc with it, drops it off for Davison. Davison gives it for Marks. Marks gives chase, but Curtin is there first, and that's not even Curtin. That's Ron Radley. And the ball goes out of bounds, so once again the Cougars will throw it in, and they'll bring their backline player, Matt Letourneau, up to take the throw. Not only does it create an offensive opportunity for him, but it takes a little bit of time off the clock. And we just cracked into the final 20 minutes of the second half, so the Cougars try to use up all the time that they possibly can to keep this Maple Hill offense from penetrating any deeper into the zone. They're certainly throwing everything they have at the Cougars. There's a nice opportunity for the Cougars right there, and again that long throw in by Matt Letourneau, and Jamie Davison gets a nice header on it. Van Alstyne makes a beautiful save on that one, and had a little bit of a rebound get away from him, but once again pounces on it. He's certainly been pretty good at scrambling and picking up those loose balls. So a good opportunity again created by that long throw in, and Van Alstyne is there to cover up. Here's a ball that's sent all the way back. Armstrong is there. He turns and tries to clear it out, but it gets bounced around. That's going to go over the end line, and it's going to be a goal kick. All right. Cougars put the ball in play. Comes out towards midfield. Mark steals the ball away from Yeager. Sends it into the center for Pupor. Pupor pushes it off for McDonough, but just a little bit too long. McDonough maintains possession. Turns and sends the ball into the corner of the box. Palmer is there. He turns it around. Pupor giving chase. He goes down. Palmer still has the ball, and finally rolls out of bounds, and the Cougars will throw in. 18 minutes to play in the second half. Cougars with a 1-0 lead. Looking to move on to the next round of the state playoffs. Cougars throw in. Here's McDonough, drops it off for Davison. Davison in the middle for Harrigan. Harrigan puts a shot on goal, and once again Van Alstyne had himself positioned nicely, but not all that secure with his hands. He's certainly been able to cover those rebounds up, but that's got to make Coach Gillespie age a few years every time that happens. I got to tell you, that's probably not what he wants his goalkeeper to be doing. Letourneau steps up and breaks that play up. Davison sends it for Pupor. Pupor back over for Davison. Davison crosses over with Marks. Here's a pass up for Marks, back for Davison. Davison penetrates into the center, but it's broken up nicely by Monty. Here's McDonough tries to get a pass over for Harrigan, but that gets broken up. And here come the Wildcats. Here's a ball that gets by. Sapolsky has it, but Armstrong is there to break up the play. Letourneau goes down. Sapolsky still has it. He's going to get a shot off, sent to the far end of the box. And again, the Cougar defense is there to turn it back away. Nice play by the back line of the Cougars to squash that offensive opportunity. Again, the Wildcats pressuring for all they're worth here to get that equalizer. Here's a ball that's in the center. This is Bordeaux, gets it taken away by Pupor. Pupor looking for a little bit of support, I'm sure. Sends it back into a flock of red shirts. Anyway, Bedard is there to turn that back around the other way. Here's Marks with it. He sends it over for Davison. Davison and Pupor kind of miscommunicate, and Kelly comes away with it. This is McDonough. Nice move to get it away from Kelly. Sends the ball up for Marks. Marks a little tardy getting there, and that's going to be a Wildcat throw-in. 15.5 to play here in the second half. The action heating up quite a bit here in the last minute or so. Both teams doing what they can to make things happen. Here's Davison with it. Makes a nice move to get by Monty. Keeps it in bounds. Sends it in. And I believe the flag was up. And it looks like that's going to be called out of bounds. And here's a ball that's sent into the center. Gay's going to take a shot. The Maple Hill goaltender was a little bit distracted on that. He was a ball had been sent in from the sideline, thinking that it was some kind of a goal kick or something. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but I think he came back to his senses and found out that the play was actually live, and was able to get himself reoriented. And here goes Marks goes down, but there's a foul on the play, and the Wildcats are going to get a restart the other way. So the intensity certainly picked up a notch or two here in the last couple minutes. Here's Davison with it. He's going to send a long ball up for Pupor. It's going to be in the box, but Van Alstyne comes out and handles that one without a problem. And here come the Wildcats. This is Bordeaux again. He keeps being pushed up to the front line. He was playing defense in the beginning. Now he's kind of like an attacking midfielder for Coach Gillespie. Again, he's been at this for 30 some odd years, and I'm sure he knows how to play when he's one goal behind. Rabideau punts the ball back out, and Leduc is there. He turns and sends it into the center. This is Curtin. Curtin sends it over for Monty. Monty gets his stick taken away by Davison. Davison, and he's going to get called for the push. Here's number 7. This is Moore in the center. Gets it taken away by Letourneau. Letourneau pushes it up for Davison. Davison pushes it by Monty. He's there, sends it into the center. And this is McDonough with it. McDonough turns, gets a shot off, but it's blocked by Curtin in the center. Good opportunity again for the Cougars, but McDonough gets his shot blocked by Pat Curtin, and he's certainly had a strong game on that back line for the Wildcats. Coach Hawksby going to the bench here with just about 12 minutes to play in the second half. And the Wildcats are going to get a throw in. And there's Miller heads it back, but Moore is there. Again, McDonough controls. Sends it up for Davison, but that's a little bit too wide, and Monty breaks up that play. Here's Kelly, tries to send one up to the front line, but the Letourneau is there for the Cougars, and they turn it around the other way. There's a ball that's pushed into the corner for Carter, but he's not able to get to that one before Palmer turns it around and sends it the other way. And we're going to have another throw in for the Cougars. The ball's kind of bounced around in the center of the Maple Hill end, but here come the Wildcats. They're back on the attack. Bo Leduc comes back to break up that play and knocks it out of bounds. So that's going to be a throw in for the Wildcats. This is some deep possession for the Wildcats, but Harrigan's able to turn it back around out towards the midfield. Wildcats possess. They're going to regroup and try to put on a little offensive pressure here. Bordeaux once again sends one into the box, but Rabidou's got himself positioned nicely for that one, and doesn't turn into any kind of an opportunity for the Wildcats. He will take his time to get this started back the other way. It goes out towards midfield. McDonough heads it up for Carter. Carter's there. He's got it, and he gets it knocked away from him. And here's Harrigan back to cover up on defense. Sends it back for Letourneau. Letourneau and Harrigan team up to clear that out towards the center of the field, but Kelly is there for the Wildcats. He controls. Sends it in for Yeager. Yeager gets taken down by Miller, so the Wildcats will get a restart here just inside midfield, and they're going to no doubt send everybody up on this one with 9 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the second half. They're going to take all the opportunity they can to get something behind Rabidou. Leduc control, sends it up for Carter. And we're going to get a whistle on the play, but that call is going to go against the Wildcats. I'm not sure why he stopped that play, but we'll take it. And here's the ball, is in the center. Sapowski pushes it back to his back line to get it started. Here's Bordeaux, gets by Leduc. Bordeaux going to put a left-footed shot on goal. Rabidou's got it covered nicely, and he sucks that one in. So Andrew Bordeaux has been taking these shots from a long ways out, hoping that something's going to happen. But so far, Josh Rabidou's been able to position himself nicely for them. And here's Carter trying to chip one up to the back line, but that gets knocked away by the defense. McDonough pushes that one forward, but again, Palmer is there to set it back the other way. Here's Letourneau, sends it over for Bedard. Bedard's going to give chase and not going to get there in time, and the Wildcats will get a throw in. Nice play by Harrigan to break that one up. Pupor switches fields wisely and gets it over for Miller with a little bit of space. He tries to get it up for Davison, but Monty's there to break that up, and he switches fields back the other way over to Bordeaux. He seems to be their go-to playmaker here at the closing minutes of this second half. Harrigan, he sends that back up the other way, and that's going to go out of bounds. So again, the Wildcats are quick to get the ball back into play to try to preserve as much time on the clock as possible, and Cougars are doing all they can to slow down their momentum. Here's Pupor. or I'm sorry, Leduc. He sends it over, and Monty is there. He creates some space. He gets a shot off. It gets deflected by Harrigan out front, and that gets rolls over the end line, and Gay does a nice job of screening the Maple Hill player off the ball, and it's going to go over the end line, and it's going to go over to the Cougars for a goal kick. Apparently, Coach Gillespie thought that that was last touched by a Cougar player and was calling for the corner kick, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Here's the Wildcats with an opportunity, but the Cougars defense is able to break that up. Here's Sapowski with it in the center. He's going to chip one into the box, and Armstrong is going to beat his player to the ball, and it goes out of bounds, so it'll be a throw in for the Wildcats. You got just under 6 minutes to play here. The Wildcats get it into play quickly. Marks comes back the other way, sends one up wide along the sideline. It rolls out of bounds. Wildcats throw it in. Gay's there to head it out of the way, but it goes to Sapowski. Carter gets the ball away from him. This is Monty with it. Monty is defended there by Carter, but we get a foul on the play. So once again, the Wildcats will get a set piece here. This is a good opportunity for them from about 35 yards out. And Palmer's going to take this kick and try to create a scoring opportunity. And he's going to hook one into the box. There's a couple players there, but it goes right over the head of everybody. There was a nice opportunity there. The Wildcat players certainly had position on the Cougar defense, and again, Cougars dodge a major bullet there as the offensive players for the Maple Hill Wildcats are not able to get any body parts on that to redirect that ball. It was a nice service into the box, but no one there to finish. Again, the Wildcats are putting the pressure on, really testing the metal of this defensive core for the Cougars. Mark sends it out to midfield, but there's no support there, and Palmer and Curtin will see if they can't get it going back the other way. Curtin tries to send it into the middle for Kelly, and that gets broken up. And again, the Cougars are packing it back in. They've got their back line plus their midfielders are scrunched back in there pretty good to see if they can slow down this threat. We're going to have about 20 guys in the box here before too long. Here's an opportunity. Here's a Sapolsky, but he can't get much of a shot on it, and it gets pushed back the other way. Palmer is there. He wants to get things going back the other way. Davison and Leduc are there. Davison gets the ball away from the Maple Hill defense and sends it long just to kill a little bit of time off the clock. Here comes Marks. He controls. Sends it up for Carter. Carter's got Davison. Davison pushes it back for Carter, but that's a little bit too long, and Monty breaks the play up. Harrigan watches it bounce, and Sapolsky's going to get a hold of it, but Harrigan disrupts the play just enough to get the ball back for Letourneau. Here's a ball that's sent up to the back line, but Armstrong is there to head it back the other way. Miller gives chase, but the Wildcats get it. McDonough breaks that play up. Sends it for Miller. Miller pushes it into the middle for Davison. Davison touches it over for Carter. Carter back for Davison, and again, it didn't quite get to find its target, and Monty turns it around the other way. Here's a opportunity for the Wildcats, broken up by Bedard, and Harrigan is there to clean up the mess. Marks has it, pushes it up, but a couple of red shirts there. Davison has it, and he's looking, gets shielded off the ball. And Davison gets called for the hold. So the Wildcats will get a restart right at midfield. We're creeping up on the final 2 minutes of this second half of this Class B regional playoff game. There's a ball that's sent into the box, and the Cougars going to watch it roll over the end line. So that's going to be a goal kick for the Cougars. Might as well take your time chasing that ball, Rabideau. Don't go running after it that fast.
That's when you have butterfingers. Oops.
Yeah, whoops. I guess I didn't quite get that. Bounce over my head. That damn AstroTurf, huh? Oh, I'm not. Am I allowed to say that on TV?
Well, yeah. Just once, though.
Okay. It's not really AstroTurf. I think that was a. That was kind of.
About AstroTurf. You can say AstroTurf.
That was kind of a brand name, right?
Yes.
Nice play by Pupor. He runs into the box. He's going to get the shot off. Van Alstyne makes a stellar stop. Dustin Pupor breaks loose on the left side and charges into the box. Puts a shot from the outside of his foot. And we're in the final minute of play here. And NCCS is certainly looked like they had a beautiful opportunity there. Dustin Pupor broke in and got the shot off, and Van Alstyne makes the stop. So we're down to about 40 seconds left to go in the game. Here's Harrigan, pushes it over for Marks. Marks is loose in the box, and he's still got it. Van Alstyne is down, and Marks turns around and puts the shot right into the chest of Derek Van Alstyne as that clock is ticking down to the final 20 seconds. Things have gotten pretty exciting here. The Cougars certainly with the Wildcats pressuring for all they're worth. They put the ball in. Here's an opportunity, and Letourneau clears it out, and that ball is going to go in. Rabideau grabs the ball, and time expires, so the Cougars will move on to the next round of the New York State Public High School Athletic Association's regional playoffs here, and as they take a 1-0 victory over the Wildcats of Maple Hill here at the Plattsburgh High School Athletic Complex this Wednesday evening, November 10th, 2010. So to the delight of the partisan crowd here at Plattsburgh High, the Cougars come away with a hard-fought 1-0 victory over the Wildcats of Maple Hill. So that'll do it for Hometown Cable's presentation of boys varsity soccer, and we thank you for watching this program, and it's Hometown Cable's television worth your support.